For me personally, the prelim exercise was very helpful. It taught us many skills that we need for the final task. Taught us different, such as shot types, length of shots, editing, transitions, adding music. The hardest thing to overcome for the prelim was planning. It's because Jason and Noah weren't here at the time for most of it. So yeah, it was pretty difficult.
I also found the prelim exercise very helpful as it showed us things that we needed to improve on from Maintask, like filming more efficiently because we took far too long to film our prelim exercise, which is one of the things that we needed to improve on. We also just didn't take it seriously enough, so when it came to our main evaluation, we knew we needed to improve on that.
So the first thing we did for planning was a storyboard, which mostly I did because I had the arts and crafts skills that was required. It's consistent of rough sketching, where the camera's going to be, what was going to be said, sound, etc. And it helped us convey the director's ideas, on paper, which is quite useful.
Next we made a video showing different variations of camera shots and lengths, and this helped us see which shots were most and least effective at conveying ideas in certain situations. This helped us give us an idea of what shots to use in not only our prelim but also our main task.
For the other part of planning, we looked at other people's prelims, researched on YouTube, Google, just to see how everyone else has looked, so we can get a little basis of what to put ours. They gave us an idea of what to do. No. So we saw multiple tracking shots, which looked really good, so different types of shots that we wouldn't really think of, and we tried to implement them into our own prelim.
Some of the good parts with our prelim task was that I thought that we had a good variation of shots, such as tracking, over the shoulder, even some point of view, and I think this really helped. I think this showed that we were confident behind the camera and that we had an idea of what we were doing, and our teamwork was also very good. We'd all chip in doing some acting, some camera work, and I thought this was helpful when it came to our main task as well.
Bad parts of the prelim, we had few, but we had some of the shots were too short, so we had to refilm them, change them up, and it took a little bit long time. The other bad part is that it took too long to film compared to what we actually got out of it. So there was some parts where we would break out of character, people walking away, noise disturbance, so it took up most of the time. Also, it was our first time acting in front of the camera for coursework, so it didn't look as great as we wanted it to be.
Okay. As opposed to our preliminary task, we filmed this more efficiently. It took us longer, obviously, but the rewards that we saw were a lot longer and a lot more professionally done, and it was just a lot more efficient. It was easier to edit because we didn't have as much to edit, and
Yeah. We also had a good length for a thriller, so it was 1 to 2 minutes, which is a great length for a thriller opening. It keeps the audience hooked, whilst also telling them a story, a summary of what's going to happen next.
Building on from our preliminary task, I felt that we improved on our variation of shots, and we implemented a lot more shots into our final task compared to what we did in our prelim task. This helped convey how we improved our camera work and our confidence behind the camera, which made the opening scene more professionally done, and we felt was up to standards compared to actual opening scenes in the thriller genre.
We also had a lot more teamwork involved. There was a lot more camera work. We had to work together, get different shots, different lighting, and I felt like from the prelim we worked more of a team than we did before. We also had more acting. We had 2 characters present in the shots, which meant we had to work together as a team to film as well as act. We had better teamwork, so after every shot we'd all get together to see the shot, see if it was good, see if it was bad, what we can improve on, just to try and get it as perfect as possible, given the situation. Overall, the coursework helps me improve personally my research skills, not just using Google and YouTube, but like other things, like looking at other people's work, basing off of that to improve our own.
Another thing we learned is how crucial planning actually is to our final project, because if you have good planning, it makes everything run a lot smoother. It's easier because you know which shots you want, like helps us see where the actual extract is going, and we all have an idea of what we want to get out of this. As opposed to our prelim when we were just doing it randomly and just seeing what went well together. It was just easier to have an actual plan.
Yeah. Also, overall, we learn how stressful editing is. So normally you're watching a film and you don't really focus on the editing part of it. You're just kind of watching the shots and things. There's a lot more background work to be done, and you know, it's a big shock from us to realise how much work we actually had to put in.
Also, throughout this coursework, we all learned how difficult and stressful acting can be, as we were often like going off task and just not doing it professionally. But we just saw how doing it properly helped us a lot. It was a lot easier to film, and it just didn't take as long.
Using technology as well. We learn a lot from using technology. Most of us, me personally, never really use a camera or a computer to edit a video. So, you know, this whole coursework helped us improve our technological. For example, Final Cut Pro X, you know, helped us. It really helped us actually. Gave us transitions, shot types, easily putting sound on text that we wouldn't be able to do before. The cameras itself helped us do depth of field, brightness, zoom in that we wouldn't really understand how to use, but it was really simple. Using technology made this whole process much smoother and a lot easier.